It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show. Of course, our mission is to come to you each and every day right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Our social media handles for Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are all at the Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel, Open Mic Broadcast Network. Our website is obnradio.com, and our 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. And without any further delay, we're going to jump right into today's episode. As we continue to wade through the water of what shall be in the aftermath of the coronavirus 2019 pandemic, things are steadily being thrown against the board to see what would, could, or even should stick as projections of athletics moving forward. The latest and the greatest comes from Major League Baseball. There are discussions of the possibility as soon as May of having all Major League Baseball teams convene in the state of Arizona. Why? Because that's where majority of them work out in spring training. Fields are close to each other. I believe there are 10 facilities there. And of course, the Diamondbacks home stadium, where they're trying to put together a potential schedule of having all teams quarantined in the same areas. Travel is not greater than 50 miles from park to park. And looking at the possibilities of this being a solution to what has been a complete standstill for the start of the season. Of course, they would practice this with no fans in the stands, and to add an element, instead of having the traditional umpire up close and personal behind the catcher, having an electronic strike zone to call balls and strikes. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. And speaking of such, ESPN is kicking the can down the road of potentially transferring the dynamic duo of Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit for the college broadcast tandem that they bring to the table for ESPN, of transferring their skills and talents to the Monday Night Football platform for the NFL. Now, no secret at this time that ESPN made a strong push toward Tony Romo to try to lure him away from CBS. But Tony Romo signed a very handsome deal to stay with CBS. And it's been reported that ESPN made a strong run at Al Michaels to get him to take over the Monday night. Of course, Al Michaels was on Monday night with the ABC format, but he, of course, has gone to NBC. But ESPN has realized that there must be some drastic changes for their NFL presentation. For lack of a better word, it's not that good. It is really not that good. So part of the dilemma of having Herbstreit and Fowler do Monday Night Football, it could bleed into the Monday Night Championship games for college. So they're still weighing their options to see what could and could not happen as a result of that. But I find that very interesting. And a lot of people, when you really look at it, have a misunderstanding about ESPN and how they really made their mark in the world of athletics. ESPN was primarily known for highlights. not necessarily that of broadcasting expertise. Yes, they do a lot of college games, but their real test is going to be how they transition over with the SEC and how they continue to try and improve their NFL presentation. If you really weighed apples to apples and oranges to oranges, it's the weakest presentation of the NFL platform compared to everyone else that's involved. So we'll keep a close look on that to see how that all develops from the world of ESPN. And sticking with the NFL, it has been official now that the NFL will hold a virtuality draft for the 2020 campaign, which would lead one to think, could this be the wave of the future? Of course, it would cut down on your cost production. You could still have the excitement of doing things this way, put together some 3D graphics and do all these sort of unique things that you can do. And if you go back to the old days, they used to really sit in the room, make the phone calls, and have the commissioner make the announcement. And I'm pretty sure they can kind of revert back to some of the simple things with a modern twist of technology to make it a pretty pleasant experience for all of the young men whose lives will be changed throughout the NFL graduation process, if you allow me to identify it in that manner. But it's amazing how what seemed old and antiquated sometimes now is what's been proven simple still works. I'm going to take a quick break and we'll come back with more of the Mike Prince Show right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We'd like to recognize sponsors. Attorney Lee Van Richardson, located at 1047 Austin Street in Hempstead, Texas. Their phone number is 979-826-8008. Diva Skin Conditioner, located at divafeet.com, D-I-V-A-H feet.com. Their phone number, 903-270-0026. Prairie View Athletic Club, serving student athletes since 1986. Their phone number is 936-857-5817. Temple of Refuge Ministries, located in Prairie View, Texas, at 45372 Old Highway 290. Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, several locations to serve you. Katy, Rosenberg, Brenham, Bryan, College Station, and Waller, Texas. Their phone numbers, toll free, 855-391-2149. If you or your business would like to be a part of the sponsorship team here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, contact us at 832-213-8824. And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. Of course, we come to you each and every day right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. But I am proud to be associated with the Open Mic Broadcast Network family. That is Carlos Brown, Sonia Stamps, B.J. Jones, Rob Butler, Lee Hall, Terry Coleman, Joshua Davis, just to name a few. It is a total team effort, and I appreciate each and every one of you for what you bring to the table. And speaking of bring to the table, the FBS are being introduced potentially to how the rest of the world lives, in particular that of the Power Five rankings. What am I saying? It is no doubt that all the money can be found in the Power Five structure of things, in particular that connected to football and basketball. However, with the latest shakeup of the financial windfall that these institutions have grown accustomed to, although it's going to have a domino effect on all involved, but reports are now indicating that it is an admittance of overspending from the Power Five sector of things, and now they're going to have to tighten their belts and come down a notch, if you would, to how they've been operating. Meanwhile, FCS athletic directors and programs are saying, welcome to our world. And although the money is going to be greatly missed by all said institutions, majority of the FCS program, 75% of their funding comes from their said institutions. So although that money would be missed, but it's not a major dependence coming from the NCAA and advertisings and things of that nature. And on the flip side of that, could that be why there has been such a passive attempt in some cases of athletic directors not being more aggressive from advertising sales? It's almost like a catch-22. If you're dependent so much on advertising, marketing, sales, and when it crashes like it's crashed, you have to quickly readjust and go back to a much simpler approach. And then on the flip side, because you have this quote unquote 75% cushion of your finances, it makes one passive aggressive of treading out into the deeper end of the pool, almost as if we're going to just play it safe and whatever happens, happens. So maybe somewhere in between there could be a meeting of the minds or a happy medium to get a little bit more of the advertising dollars. Interesting scope to look at one way or the other, depending on what side of the fence you're on. So the FCS is saying, hey, you know what? We're accustomed to trimming the fat. We're accustomed to trying to look at innovative ways of getting things done. One thing I can say, and you have seen people resort back to a more simple approach of getting their messages across. You see it on the national, international news networks. You see it on big marketing giants. It has gone all across the board. And it has somewhat been the same echoes of those of us who are on the quote unquote smaller platforms. Welcome to our world. The old saying is true. The same people you meet coming up, you'll have to meet the same ones coming back down. So it'll be interesting to see what innovative approaches would come out of all of this. Major corporations now are shutting down studio shows, and they have to come up with innovative and creative approaches on how to deliver their content. But as always, man will make the adjustments. He will reinvent himself, and he'll continue to go beyond the call of duty to make sure that their message is heard. And speaking of being heard, I'd like to thank you guys very much for spreading the word of the Mike Prince Show and the Open Mic Broadcast Network and what we try to do on a consistent daily basis. We definitely cannot do this without your continued support. Don't forget, you can help support our cause with a simple donation of any amount by visiting the website at obnradio.com, clicking on the PayPal button. Make your donation today. And for those of you who would prefer to use the conventional form of the U.S. Postal Service, you can send that donation to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. That's OPEN, capital MIC, all one word, Broadcast Network, at P.O. Box 891, Prairie View, Texas, 77446. That's P.O. Box 891, Prairie View, Texas, 77446. I am going to exit stage left. My time is far spent on the day, but we truly appreciate you joining us and invite you to join us again tomorrow for another episode of the Mike Prince Show right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I am the radio guy, the doctor, Mike Prince. I've got to go, but until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.